everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Slayin' It with Radio podcast. I am your host, Radioslay. This is a podcast that's quick hitting, meaning the episodes are only 5 to 10 minutes long, covering a wide array of different topics. Today's topic really hits near and dear to my heart. It's something that is a part of my life, something that I've spent hours and hours and I don't even know how much time doing. One of my most favorite hobbies, that is playing video games. Video games, as you all know, have been around for I think about 50 years now. Starting off with the games like Pong, two basic bars hitting a square ball back and forth. And now we're into 2023 with games like Elden Ring, God of War, with graphics that are lifelike. It's absolutely amazing where technology has brought us over these past 50-ish years of video gaming. And really, for me, my opinion about video games is it is a fantastic outlet for an individual to take a break from the stress of real life obligations such as school, work, family, and being able to put yourself in the shoes of a character in a game, whether it's a knight battling a mystical dragon, whether it's an adventurer looking for hidden treasure, or maybe you're a futuristic soldier battling off a swarm of aliens. You're able to plug yourself in that world and go through what that character is going through. And it's great. I absolutely find it stunning that we have this technology to be able to do that. I've been playing video games for I can't even remember ever since I was little. My family got an Atari system. Yes, I am dating myself. And then subsequently got the Nintendo Entertainment System and so on. And I do remember the days where my friends and I were huddled around the TV, passing the controller back and forth. Because those that don't remember, or those that weren't born yet, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have these multiplayer games. Multiplayer to us was two players. I mean, if we were lucky enough, we might have gotten a four-player game here or there, but mainly it was a two-player co-op game, and that was it. So when we had groups of 4, 6, 10 kids, we were all huddled around the system and the TV, passing the controller back and forth. And I can just spend hours and hours talking about different memories that I had, not only with games, but the memories I had with the people I was playing the games with. And that's why I find video games really important in not only my life, but millions of other people's lives. There is the aspect of, again, having that outlet to be able to play that game, whether it's a game that you can just spend hours at a time projecting yourself into that character. Maybe it's a competitive game like a first person shooter game or one of the sports games out there. Whatever it is that you, and whatever the reason why you play video games, I respect it completely. To me, it's just like any other hobby. Just like if you like to go golfing, fishing, knitting, reading, it's just right on the same level as all of those. And for those that have a hard time understanding why people play video games, I think and I hope they can understand that it's just another hobby out there. And it's another way that we can escape the realities of life and spend a little time doing something that excites us, that we enjoy, and really truly allows us to be ourselves, really. Um, the other component of video games that I have a strong opinion on and I am utterly grateful for is the ability for it to not only start new and establish connections and relationships with other individuals, but strengthen those relationships. Let's fast forward a little bit from the days of Nintendo to the internet, the rise of the internet, the late 90s, early 2000s, that kind of era where each household started to get the internet, dial-up internet again for those that remember. Now to the cable and broadband, fiber connections that we have at these high speeds today. One of the games that I talk about a lot is Halo 2. And the reason I talk about that game is because it allowed us, one of the first games in my mind, that allowed us to connect regardless where we were in the world. I'm out here on the East Coast in the United States. I had some friends out on the West Coast. And when Halo 2 was released, allowing for that online capability, it bridged us together. That physical barrier, that physical location issue that we had being 3,000 miles apart no longer existed. We were able to play a video game that we all loved together without being in the same location. And I thought that was amazing. And it did wonders on all of our friendships and relationships. We met some new people along the way, which we are still our friends with today. And I can't stress how important that is. And as technology advanced, as video games grew, it has really made, I would assume, thousands, if not millions, of new friendships, relationships, connections. I know somebody that even got married because of video games and how they met through that video game platform. So it is a great tool, and I'll call it a tool for a minute. It's a great tool to have to allow us to meet these new people or stay connected and strengthen the relationships of our friendships that we've already had established, maybe outside of video games or before video games. We all know some of the events that happened over the last few years that kept us isolated for a bit. Where would we have been without video games? Where we would have been without that internet connection and continuing to maintain those friendships, having a great time, and forgetting the craziness that was happening in the real world out there. A few years ago, I went through some hard times in my life. Had it not been for video games, had it not been for me to get away from the challenges I was having in my life, had it not been for what the internet provided and allowed me to connect with my friends and play some of these video games together and having them help me get through that hard time, I don't know where I would be. I I really think that having these video games, having this connection is truly, truly important in this world, for all ages. All ages. Once you're old enough and it's safe enough for you as a kid to jump on these video games and start connecting with other gamers out there that have similar interests as you, whether you're somebody that's in college and needs to take a break from classes, you could play with your fellow classmates. Whether you're out in the working world and have a family of your own, and your friends have families of their own, and it's hard for them to break away from their home to go out and have a drink or go out to have dinner or go bowling or whatever it is, you can stay connected with them and keep those friendships alive and strong. One of the other things that I know myself, along with some of my friends, whether it was previous relationships or current relationships, is the questioning of that significant other. Why aren't you out hanging out with your friends? Why aren't you out hitting the bar or playing pool or whatever it is? Our responses are, we're doing that. We're doing that on a nightly basis or once a week or a couple times a week. Yes, I could go out to a bar or a restaurant, spend 50, 100 bucks on food and some drinks, or I could stay at home. Stay at home, have a home cooked meal, maybe have a beverage I bought, at my local shop here, and still have the same, if not more, enjoyment that I would have than going out and doing those same things. I'm here home, safe, rather than how many drinks did he have? Is he going to get home safely? Is he going to take that Uber or Lyft or whatever rides sharing service there is? So again, nothing wrong with going out and do that. I still like enjoying that, by the way. But those are some of my answers I would have to that. So just to wrap things up here, I really think that what video games have brought in the past, what video games bring today, are utterly, utterly important. If you don't like video games, if you can't get into video games, that's fine. That's okay. We just ask that don't look down on us. Don't question gamers. Why do you spend so many times playing these games? It's the same question that we could propose back. Why do you spend so much time watching Netflix? Why do you spend so much time golfing? Why do you spend so much time fishing? It's okay. We all have our own hobbies. We all respect our own different hobbies. And I think that as long as people understand that, I think we're good with that. But video games and the ability for it to create new or strengthen existing relationships, I think is overlooked. I think it's very important in today's society and with the technology that we have. And I absolutely don't know where I would be without them. So, what are your thoughts out there? What do you think of video games? Do you agree with my opinion? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on any of the social media platforms I'm on. That includes TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please follow, like, subscribe, or comment what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to catch me live and have a discussion there, you can find me out on the Twitch platform. I am live Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, as well as Wednesdays and Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'd love to hear from you. Guys, please be safe out there. Please do something nice for someone. Stay hydrated. We'll catch you next time on Slaying It with Radio.